Renowned filmmaker William Friedkin, acclaimed for his Oscar-winning masterpiece The French Connection and the iconic The Exorcist, passed away on Monday in Los Angeles at the age of 87. Chapman University Dean Stephen Galloway, a close friend of Friedkin's wife Sherry Lansing, confirmed the news of his demise. Friedkin's final directorial venture, The Caine Mutiny Court-Martial, featuring Kiefer Sutherland, is scheduled for its premiere at the forthcoming Venice Film Festival. During the dynamic cinematic landscape of the 1970s, Friedkin emerged as a prominent figure alongside peers such as Peter Bogdanovich, Francis Ford Coppola, and Hal Ashby. This era saw a new wave of audacious and daring filmmakers. Blending his television background, especially in documentary filmmaking, with cutting-edge editing techniques, Friedkin injected an immense vitality into genres like horror and police thrillers, which he specialized in. The French Connection was a riveting, morally complex narrative, captured in a documentary-like manner, with one of cinema's most renowned car chase sequences. This film garnered numerous Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor for Gene Hackman. It etched itself as a cornerstone of police-themed films and TV shows for years to come. In 1973, Friedkin followed up with The Exorcist, a sensational blockbuster that achieved a staggering worldwide box office gross of $500 million. This film, alongside The Godfather, ushered in the era of monumental box office successes in the film industry. Based on William Peter Blatty's novel about a young girl's demonic possession, The Exorcist showcased Friedkin's distinct stylized approach, akin to the impact The French Connection had on police thrillers. His directorial brilliance earned him another Oscar nomination. Friedkin's journey commenced in the mailroom of Chicago's WGN TV station, where he rapidly ascended to directing television programs and documentaries. He helmed approximately 2,000 TV shows during these formative years, including the 1962 documentary The People vs. Paul Crump, highlighting the rehabilitation of a death row inmate. This documentary secured a Golden Gate Award at the San Francisco Film Festival and paved the way for his leadership in the documentary division at WBKB. Subsequently, he embarked on directing documentaries for producer David L. Wolper. In the mid-1960s, Friedkin left behind his documentary pursuits with aspirations to make a mark in feature filmmaking. After directing an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, his breakthrough came when he was selected by producer Steve Broidy to direct Good Times, a pop music-themed narrative starring Sonny and Cher, in 1967. His distinct cutting-edge style, reminiscent of contemporaries like Richard Lester, lent the film a captivating flair. This success led to his directorial role in The Night They Raided Minsky's, a nostalgic work set in the world of burlesque. Friedkin injected modernity into the project through innovative camera work and editing. Subsequently, he engaged with projects like Harold Pinter's The Birthday Party adaptation and Matt Crowley's The Boys in the Band. However, Friedkin's true turning points arrived in 1971 with The French Connection and the heavily stylized horror opus The Exorcist in 1973, marking significant departures in his career trajectory. Following the monumental success of The Exorcist, Friedkin's subsequent endeavors failed to replicate its box office triumph. It wasn't until 1977 that he directed Sorcerer, a daring reimagining of Henri-Georges Clouzot's The Wages of Fear. Despite exceeding the budget and facing initial disappointment, the film has since garnered acclaim. His subsequent works encompassed the thriller The Brink's Job, the controversial Cruising, and the 1983 comedy Deal of the Century. In the early 1980s, Friedkin and Blatty joined forces for an Exorcist III project, which Friedkin eventually left due to creative differences. In 1985, Friedkin showcased his prowess as a stylistic director with To Live and Die in L.A., a visually appealing, well-received thriller that achieved moderate financial success. During this period, Friedkin predominantly engaged in television projects, contributing to series like Tales from the Crypt, The Twilight Zone, Space Quest, and CAT Squad. In 2000, he directed the moderately successful military drama Rules of Engagement. His marriage to studio executive Sherry Lansing in 1991 marked a resurgence in his regular involvement in feature filmmaking. Additionally, Friedkin directed a well-received cable remake of 12 Angry Men and the documentary Howard Hawks, American Artist. A re-release of The Exorcist, featuring supplementary content, garnered $40 million in the U.S. During the 2000s, Friedkin returned to the big screen with the 2003 thriller The Hunted, starring Tommy Lee Jones and Benicio del Toro, and the 2007 horror film Bug, featuring Ashley Judd and Harry Connick Jr. The latter was an adaptation of Tracy Letts' stage play, which Friedkin had encountered in 2004. In 2011, Friedkin completed Killer Joe, an adaptation of Letts' play, starring Matthew McConaughey and Emile Hirsch. This controversial crime drama saw limited release in the U.S. in 2012. Despite an estimated $11 million budget, the film grossed $4 million worldwide. Additionally, Friedkin directed 2 episodes of CSI. Born in Chicago, Friedkin attended Senn High School, initially aspiring to excel in basketball. His height limited his prospects, leading him to pivot towards journalism. A significant figure in the documentary realm, Friedkin appeared in multiple documentaries over the years, discussing films and filmmakers. Notably, he featured in documentaries like 2003's A Decade Under the Influence and Pure Cinema, Through the Eyes of the Master. Throughout his life, he was married to newscaster Kelly Lang and actors Leslie Ann Down and Jean Moreau. He is survived by his 4th wife, Sherry Lansing, and 2 sons.